I need to give a shout out to this lady in there, my mother, because she drove me all the way down here from Vegas, which is like 7 hours from here. That is where today's torture began. Has anyone else ever heard of that mountain called Lemmon? I was inspired this year when I watched a video on Eric Lagerstrom's channel, which he posted back in the spring. And in that video, Paula Finley and Heather Jackson decided to go for the QOM on that mountain. Then YouTube began recommending more videos like that. So I watched Lionel Sanders battle it out so he could hold the KOM segments to show Sam Long that he is the boss. These videos were really fun, so I decided if they can do it, so can I. So last weekend, I decided on a whim that it seemed like a good weekend to go ahead and just do it. I grabbed all the camera and cycling gear and headed out. One thing I should have done before going there was a little bit of research. I figured there's a mountain and I would just ride up it. Got our camping space and there is zero service, and I didn't do enough research to figure out what the actual segments are on Mt Lemmon for tomorrow, so I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just ride my bike down in the morning until I get service and try to figure out where I'm at from there. I don't really know why I was thinking about that too hard. Obviously, I had to go down to the bottom to start the climb anyway. Okay, I am 6.5 miles into this ride. I had to come down. We are staying at a campground 6.5 miles up. So now I came all the way down, and Snyder Road is where the 21-mile long segment straight up this mountain begins. So I'm about to get going. I should give a little backstory here. I really wanted to put myself to the test and see how good I could do on this so-called Mt Lemmon segment, but going there for some reason I had it in my head that it was only a 9-mile climb. Boy, was I wrong. There are a few different segments, and apparently it seems there is some disagreement over which one is the official Mt Lemmon segment, but none of them were as short as 9 miles. So anyway, there were 2 things I wanted to do on this climb. 1, go as hard as I could just to see what I could do. 2, make a YouTube video about my experience. So the dilemma was, I couldn't go hard if I wanted to make a YouTube video. I really wanted to give it a good effort though. So my original thought on the drive down was I might have to do this ride twice. Once to see how hard I could go, and the second time to film this great Mt Lemmon so that you could all see how amazing it is. Of course, these thoughts were in my head along with the idea that the climb would only be 9 miles long. I still have 11 miles left, I think. I made it about 10 miles into the ride before I was like, nah, I'm only doing this one time. I'm clearly not pushing myself anymore. Take a look at this. Oh, I am now 10 miles in, and I've already climbed 2,500 feet. I didn't do any research, so I don't know how much more I have to go. I think it's like 11 miles left, but not sure how much climbing. Look at this. Yeah, I figured out at the bottom of the mountain which segment I was going for and knew that it was 21.3 miles long. I didn't think to check out how much climbing would be involved. Spoiler alert, it ended up being over 5,500 feet of climbing in those 21.3 miles. So halfway up, the air was getting significantly thinner, and this is when I decided I am only doing it once, so I better start filming. And that's when the delirious out of breath rambling began. Fall is happening up on Mt Lemmon. Whew. So far I've climbed up all of that. I've done 4,200 feet of climbing. I should be getting pretty close to 7,000 feet of elevation. It's really hard to breathe up here. I've definitely had to slow it down even more than this already disheartening slow speed I've been climbing up this mountain. Whew. 5 more miles of this until I'm at the top. Every once in a while you go around one of these switchbacks and the wind is there to remind you you're not working hard enough. Is it always this windy up here? I think I made it to the top. Not really sure. I saw some guy who said I'm not at the top, but I did 21.3 miles of that segment, and he said I still had a couple more miles to go. So the guy who pointed out the fact that I wasn't at the top was right. But I made it to the top of the segment I wanted to do anyway, so I was satisfied. This mountain is no joke. It was a lot of climbing. It was fun though. I really enjoyed it. And then it was time to go down. I had to stop and take a pause. And when you're flying down and coming past all these little switchbacks, really makes you feel like you're gonna fly off this mountain. Oh, I get to go up a little tiny bit. That was like the only down I had on the way here. Thank you. Oh, I came up from somewhere like way down there. I can't believe I climbed all the way up this. All right, now I'm done eating lunch and I'm going to change out of this. And then we are gonna drive up to the top and I will get some footage that way because I am not doing this 2 times in one day. I am not that crazy. I guess we found my limit. This is much easier sitting in a passenger seat rather than riding a bike up, let me just tell you. It's way faster too. But we are almost to the point of where I finished riding my bike. Okay, that's where I stopped and turned around because that was 21.3 miles into the climb. And now we're starting to go down, it seems, but I don't think it was the end. Because I looked at a map when I finished and I saw that there was still a lot more left to do, but I'm not sure if that's considered part of the segment or not. I was right. There was a lot more left I could have done, but depending on which segment you are going for, the starting and stopping points are all different. I will link the 3 different segments in my description so you can all get an idea how fun this mountain is. There is a cute little town at the top called Summer Haven, and according to some friends and this video from Phil Guyman, there are some pretty big cookies waiting for you there. That's one more thing that would have been nice to know before I actually went there. So final thoughts on that climb. I will be back, but I definitely need to do some more training. If I'm looking at the right thing, I got 529th place on that segment out of all the women. Ooh, that's not very good. Needless to say, I will be going back to Mt Lemmon. I didn't go hard all the way up like I wanted, and this video is 100% not what I intended it to be, but it is what it is. I blame the lack of oxygen. Maybe next time will be better. I do believe if you ride a bike that Mt Lemmon should be on your bucket list if you haven't already done it. Hey, maybe I will see you there next time. I'm thinking to go in April, so depending on the COVID situation, maybe I will see you there. But until then, let me know if there are any other routes I should be putting on my bucket list to ride in the future, and I will see you next time. Mwah.